Happy anniversary to us, happy anniversary to us, happy anniversary to us.
Oh, it does.
Oh, what the fuck? There is TTS.
Damn it, I found it. That would have been funny like I do with cams.
let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green and fantastic! 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around the sexy Rexy, yibbida folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through to complete the lap. Sideorg, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well. And don't tell me Wilco could have gone from first to third in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead and he could be down to third by the end of the opening lap.
Green line, give it all you got.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching right around the world. It's round 5 of this KRL GT3 series, and we're coming to you from the famous Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, like I said, for round 5 of this championship. Where else would you rather be? Nowhere, because you're on KRL Wednesdays and Thursday nights, and it doesn't get much better than that. And the comments coming in, the support has been incredible. Jason Wilkinson, happy anniversary to us, happy anniversary to us, happy anniversary to us. And thank you for that, Wilco Andrelli, our graphics man, up and about, Rain of Fire, just giving us the Trev. And up and about, the track isn't the only thing that's a bit moist. It was a little bit moist in free practice. Luckily, it's not moist here. Otherwise, there'd be a few questions being asked of the FIA and the race stewards and the commentary team and everybody else. Go safety car, says Andrelli. And let me just got something in store for you, Andrelli. Speaking of graphics that are just going to cutting edge graphics on OBS, which we're going to get to in a moment. And Matt Simmons saying nights are always better when Trev is streaming. It's not just me streaming. Well, it is me streaming, but got a couple of gentlemen alongside me here this evening. And Ricardo says, morning guys over there in the Netherlands or Holland, over there in the land of Max Verstappen. And he's joining us as well. Still sick at home, but managing, he says. Get well soon. Thoughts and prayers with you, as I welcome my co-commentators for this evening. Once again, round 5 of this championship like that. It's going oh so quickly when you're having fun. First of all, Jason Wilkinson, the man from Monza. Good evening to you.
Hello, and I identify as a safety car tonight, so let's just get that clear. You'll see my name is no longer... I am now a safety car.
And he,
Retirement
she,
Street Mobile Trev.
he, she, him, her, and SC are his pronouns, and hopefully we don't see too much carnage. But speaking of the, we'll get to these graphics in just a moment. Geez, the build-up game is strong for those. But the man from, not Carrum Downs, we've spoken to him already. The man from Murray Downs in the Adelaide Hills. Of course, I speak of none other than Chuck Norris, a man who doesn't need to wear a watch because he decides what the time is. Chuck, good evening to you.
Good evening, Trev and Wilco and Chad. I'm back from stepping on landmines and getting chased away from the bees. I'm I'm here to chase the bees around Spa. So looking forward to tonight. It's going to be good. I wouldn't mind seeing some rain, maybe even a sprinkle of a safety car too.
Great work there, and Chuck, of course, off fighting the bees and the Viet Cong over there, and fighting the communists, and doing very nicely as well. Sexy Rexy had a rainbow paddle pop before. It's about 32 degrees here still. That's still not as a little bit hotter than what it is on the track here at Spa. 29 track temperature, 26 degrees ambient temperature, and the track is fast. And we've got 6 minutes to go in qualifying. Full formation lap, of course. Mandatory pit stop for fuel. 25 seconds fixed time. Tyres are optional, of course, but they'll cost you an extra 5 seconds, and a safety car if there's an incident with 3 or more drivers. Fingers crossed we don't see that tonight. Jason Wilkinson, our safety car man, but we have a huge field right down. Voice just broke like Bill Laurie. Got him! Warney, get him up here. And there we go, right down to Saint Sim. We've got 30 drivers here tonight, Wilco. Biggest turnout of the season, if you don't mind.
Yes, it's good to see. 29 cars. We've got, what's that? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only got the 5 pro drivers tonight. There's a few missing. Here, yes. We've got 5 AM classes, AM drivers. So we've got, where is he? We've got MMC Jackery making his debut tonight, and we've got Smitty making his debut tonight. We've also got Rain of Fire coming back. We've got someone else. Who else? There's someone else in here. Machin. 193 is another driver. So we've got 2 new drivers and 1 return driver. Actually, no, it's 3 new drivers. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I can't even run my own league. But yeah, 3 new drivers, 1 guy making a return, and got a lot of action on track. And going off practice, Clocade is again the man to beat. He did a 17.9 in practice, and the practice flicked to optimum then. So expect to see something around the same time, which is absolutely lightning pace.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Clocade is in P1 for the time being. Provisional pole position, of course. 2:18.9. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. That's gone. And through comes Machin 193. Seen him a couple of times before. And as also big shout out to MMC Jackery, who is our latest follower, Chuck Norris, 7 minutes ago, joining the family as we approach 270. Follower and driver. And a double threat there, and 2:18.9. What times can we expect, Wilco? Early 18s or late 17s?
17.9 was what Clocade did about half an hour ago, so that's going to be what he's chasing. And he was a good half a second clear of the field. Of course, we do have the BOP, which you might have a list there. I can find it if you need. But yeah, it's BOP again tonight, using the LFM BOP, and yeah, the McLaren again has been slapped with the full 30. Oh, there you go, Norman Clocade on the exact same lap time. Look at that, just before it goes away, because Clocade's going to go bang. And so we got, the McLaren has the full 30 kilos, which is the max we can do on console. You've got, I can read it out on the timetable, what am I doing? So McLaren has 30 kilos, Audi has 18, the Ferrari has 10, the Lamborghini has 7, the BMW has 0, Porsche has 9, and I think that's all there is. Yeah, 30, 10s, 9, yeah, so that's it. So we've got 30 kilos for the McLaren. The BOP did work last week. We saw a ripper between Nat and Clocade, and then the midfield battle was quite tight. So obviously Spa is a very long track, the longest track that we go to on this game until next year with the Nürburgring. So yeah, you expect the times to be a little bit more spread out because of how long the track is, but it still should be quite close.
So we're taking a look now at Mayo, but we've got a little bit over 2 minutes. In fact, right on 2 minutes left in this session. Ladies and gentlemen, great to have your company wherever you're watching us right around the world. 15 people jumping on for a Wednesday night. Shout out in the comments where you are tuning in from, and we'd love to hear from you. Like to get interactive and talk to our viewers and our KRL family members, as I think someone might be going. Going. Don't make too much noise in the basement there. You might alert the neighbours there, Chuck Norris. And he was complaining before because his chips were too hot or something. But and a bucket of fish heads down there for you next time if you're not careful. But 90 seconds remaining in this session, and something is going on there. No, beg your pardon, just my computer. And it's here. That's voodoo tapping from the basement. But no, the safety car, which we were talking about a little bit. Watching.
The chips are too hot, man.
And Andrelli, keep it together. Deep breaths. Watching from the bushes outside Trev's window, and that reminds me of The Simpsons. Hi, I'm Mo.
Here comes Cloakade.
As the ladies like to call me. Hey, you behind the bushes. And I'll see myself out. But Cloakade 2:18.3, and we were talking about a safety car a little bit earlier on this evening. Well, here are the graphics. Here they are, and my goodness, they're huge. Hang on. We've been over. Hang on. Wait a second.
Trev, just calm down. You need to make it smaller. Make it so dirty thoughts. Dirty thoughts.
My goodness me. That's a Matt Simmons safety car, isn't it? We'll just pop that in the corner there.
What does that mean?
And, that's what I think of. Anyway, so we'll leave that there. But these are the graphics you need to be looking at. In fact, we need to be looking at what's happening on track, Wilco, because these drivers are coming through for their final runs here.
Yeah, so Mark, where is he? Mark is... Where is Mark? I've lost him.
Where is he?
Okay, we'll go Jimbo, car 91. He's the next car that's probably going to cross the line where we can see him, and he hasn't done a lap. Jimbo and then Glasso, so they're... A couple of years ago, we'd be saying someone is in P24, 25, 29. Like, yeah, that's crazy how well KRL's come on. But here comes Jimbo through the last corner. Well, what's he going to do? He's currently P4 in class. Sorry, he jumps up to P22. Glasso goes to P24. Saint Sim in P30 here. So the guy hasn't done a lap yet. And then we'll go down to Norm, Cloakade, and. Where does Saint Sim up to P24? So we'll go to Norm as the next car, and then it's going to be Norm, Cloakade, and Psydog. Okay, that's the next gaps.
Let's have a look at Norm. Let's have a look at Norm now, coming through towards the final part of the lap, towards the old bus stop chicane. Someone awesome says, let's hope for rain to hopefully slow down these McLarens. They are pretty quick in a straight line. I have heard through the bus stop. Right, left, out onto the start-finish straight now. Here's an opportunity for Norm to go to P1 if he's quick enough, and he does!
Cloakade now, Cloakade.
Cloakade, can he answer back? He needs to find 0.2 of a second out of his back pocket, and
he does!
He does!
And Simon!
He does, and now Simon...
he couldn't go through from 3.
Simon says that I'm starting from 3rd on the grid.
Up to P4.
Burrow up to P4. Here comes the Rainbow
Rexy
Paddle Pop.
P7.
Sexy Rexy P7. Who else have we got out there?
We've got a lot of cars across the line. You've got Sean Fuller, Sofa King... got Disco Stew, and EXO will be the last one. Let's go to Disco Stew. Oh, let's go to EXO. P21. There you go.
Let's go.
And then we'll go through the order. There's too many cars across the line. The
Exorcist KRL absolutely doing brilliantly, of course, with this field across the line. Where's it going to put him? Can he get inside the top 20? I don't think he can. Wilco, he's a couple of tenths off there. And that's...
Yeah, P21. So he's second in class for the AM class, but... Let's go through the field. So Cloakade with a 2:18.072. Norm, a B's reproductive organ behind him. And then half a second back to Simon. So a bit of a gap there, but we do know Simon is very good in the race and he's quite a good overtaker. And then the man on debut in Burra P5, now you can see the gap sort of goes to that 1 second and then it pretty much stays there down to P15. You got Sophie King, another guy coming out of the car, the Jason Wilkinson coaching academy. He's up in P6. That's another good good sign. Someone awesome didn't get a lap at the end there. He had a mistake or something go wrong with about a minute to go, so he didn't get a clean lap at the end. Sean, he's our championship leader, by the way. I think. Do you have the championship points? So we can get them up.
We'll get to those. Yep.
Yep, cool. Shawnee Fuller P8, Rex P9, and Mark P10. So the leader of the AM class is Jackery on his debut again. So a lot of these debut guys having a nice run. So he's in P18 overall with Exorcist, Jimbo, Glasso, and Butler, the other AM guys. So we've got 5 AM guys tonight. I think last week we only had 3 or maybe 4. So got an extra guy. It's going to be a dry race. Let's go through these championship orders.
As we do that, Rain of Fire, I'll be lucky to finish tonight. Methinks 0 practice, wasn't even going to race tonight until the last minute. Rain of Fire, put your manners back in, you beautiful man, because we know you're going to do just fine. And somewhat awesome, only 1 lap in for me, a few laps disallowed, so only 1 time being allowed. The cars are on the grid, including the safety car. We might have a look at the championship standings, which aren't working for me at the moment for some reason. But anyway, we will keep pushing along. Someone Awesome. Am I looking at the right one? Someone Awesome. Is that who I'm looking at there, Wilco? We'll have a, hang on a second. 1 second.
Yeah, I can get it up in a sec.
Yep.
And I'm talking about the graphics. What am I trying to do?
Someone.
I'm trying to send a link to someone. Okay.
Yeah, Someone Awesome.
Yep,
and then
152 points, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep,
Figo does race in the other series, so yep.
Yep,
Yeah, go through
128,
that.
Sideorg on 121, Shawnee Fuller 103, and Norm on 101, so 50-odd points separating the top 5. 91 for Cloakade, and he's whacked it on pole position tonight. Gorgeous Matt Simmons on 82, F1 Sniper on 78, 77s for Mayo and Mark. And there's a Shizen load down to Captain Planet, who has raced in 1 race down there in P35. So 35 drivers have graced
There's going to
us
be more tonight too.
with their
an
presence.
extra 3, so
And,
yeah, 38 guys.
38 drivers, and I tell you what, that was one thing that used to have a bit of an effect on sim racing many years ago with those long championships, Wilco, if you remember, back in the old F1 days. And by the final round in Abu Dhabi, you'd have about 6 people. And we had 6 people when we kick-started our streaming back in the day at Long Beach.
Oh, hi guys, welcome to Long Beach for the first race on this channel.
The
all the
leaderboards
times
are all-
up the Shizer.
Oh, memories, eh? 2018.
Oh, wait. Mayo is in P30. Did he get a lap in or did he disconnect?
And let's just
Let me
scroll
double check that.
down to the drivers lower down the order. And Mayo is in P30, Rain of Fire.
Yeah. Mayo qualified in P13, so he disconnected between quali and the race, and he's joined back at the back. So everyone, get your votes in for driver of the day, just as yeah, Mayo. It's P30, so effectively P29 once I get booted back to the pits. So P29 for Mayo. Let's see where he's going to end up. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. It's a very long formation lap, so it might be a good time for a commercial break, Trev, if you want. But we can keep chatting if we need.
Yep, we'll get to that. That is a fantastic suggestion there as the safety car disappears off the grid. And look at that, 22 drivers in here. 22 drivers. There's more than 22 as Cloakade leads the way. 22 people watching the stream, can you believe? Massive Grid, says Ricardo. And I'm not sure why I say his name like that. But Massive Grid, guys, you boys must be doing something good. Rain of Fire. Speaking of C1, we'll have to do a two-player season. F1, I think he means there. We'll have to do a 2-player season, Trev. My last co-op buddy ditched me after Miami.
Oh, it's because you're in the fucking Ferrari and I'm in the Bean.
Oh, I had 2 engine failures in 3 races. Look at you go. And there we have it. So F1, yep, sorry, Rain of Fire. Let us know what night suits you, Rain of Fire. And please don't leave me like someone else did to go off and start his driver academy, which Wilco was kind enough to remind me of. I hadn't mentioned it at all this evening, but thank you for reminding me.
Giving away free sessions. So.
Call in the next 15 minutes and you'll get your second, like the steak knives on Danol's Direct. But driver of the day, nothing better than coming home half cooked and ordering some of that stuff at 3 a.m. in the morning. But Ricardo says driver of the day, 1000% the Honda already. And
yeah, good vibes.
Good vibes. And the safety car tonight, that's the graphics we're going to be using there. once that safety car is deployed. And this one too, Wilco, if you just cast your eyes, everybody, to the top of your screen, just a bit of this sort of action. Look at that. Andrelli, and that is when the safety car will be coming in, of course, as it's pretty self-explanatory there. Safety car in this.
I can't see, you keep flashing off the screen.
And there we have it there. So the graphics are just really cutting edge stuff there. But hopefully all going well. Chuck Norris, we will not need that tonight as we continue our formation lap.
Yeah, fingers crossed we won't need it because it is a very long pit lane. I'm kind of nervous to see if anybody's going to get any pit lane infringements here or even on-track warnings that lead them into pit lane because, yeah, it's going to be disastrous. It's, like a minute 30 or something horrible to venture down pit lane. You might as well, make the treacherous cruise down, go get yourself a beverage while you're still rolling down the pit lane and, before you know it, you'll be back out.
Well, we're halfway through the formation lap. It is a long formation lap here tonight before the start of this 50-minute race. Round 5 of the championship. We're about to kick off here at Spa. We're going to go to a short commercial break, and we'll be back with the big one right after this. Stay with us. Let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1. We're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbita, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through.
Because it just break. If I just.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Had to cut that break slightly short because we're about to go racing here. 50 minutes of Spa-Francorchamps, perfect conditions for racing, 30 plus drivers with us tonight. It's a KRL record. We've had more than 40 drivers for the season, and the way we do things, people love it. We hope you're loving it too at home. And if you can remove the player names from the top of the cars, it makes it more professional. Thank you, Ricardo. We'll forward that onto our feedback team. Yep, we're about to kick on. We'll take that on board. Our HR team will be back to you within 48 hours. And we're about to get ready to go racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Cloquet in P1, Norm in P2, and Simon rocking a new livery there on the second row of the grid. Rolling start, away we go. Up Eau Rouge for the first time. Cloquet with his nose in front. Norm not too far behind him. Then Sideorg as well. And Matchin, the new boy, up there as well into third position, just getting onto the grass, along with and bang, crash, and somebody off at the back there. Is that 2 or more cars, or 3 or more cars, I should say? And 2 cars are involved there. There was a big incident down the Kemmel straight there, and through Ratty on. Nick with a drive-through penalty off the start line. Not great news for him. Yellow flags out once again. I want to say most of the drivers have got away cleanly, but it's very hectic here on the opening lap. Cloquet, though, out of all of that, still leads through the corner with no name. And you can see there Norm just behind him, matching up to third. Sideorg in fourth, rocking that beautiful new livery. Then it's a large sofa bed there in fifth, and Burradog sixth. And Burra with some damage on the front of that Lambo there, as you can see there. Opening lap, Shawnee Fuller in 7th, the Englishman, then someone awesome. So it looks to me, Chuck Norris, there has been some action further down the field off the start line. And Nick with a drive-through penalty there as well here on the opening lap. And Disco Stew, FFS, feeling your thoughts. Yickety yak. Surely that's a safety car, he says. Matching well down the field in 27th as well, Jason Wilkinson. Oh, and somebody off and Matchin's made contact. I think that's Glasso. Oh, they're calling for a safety car. I don't know about... Oh, we're erring on the side of caution. Well, it was only 2 cars on the opening lap and then 2 cars again towards the end of that opening lap. And you can see there...
These 4 quick muffs.
And I do apologise, we had some audio issues. Matt Simmons could only hear Trev, and I'm sure he would have been happy with that. But Wilco now is coming through, Wilco, but still no safety car here on lap 2 of this race.
No, not yet. So we had Stu... Jackery made contact going down the straight up to is it, what's the Kemmel Straight?
Yep.
I didn't know if I was having an aneurysm or something, but yeah. So there was two cars made contact there, and then they got going, and then it was Matchin got turned around 2 corners later. And then you had Stu and Jackery are back in the pits. They're probably done for the night. There's no safety car at the moment, and they've now gone up down. And then you've got, was it Glasso and who was the other car that got involved? Glasso. Anyway, so there's been separate sort of incidents. So we've got car 137 and car 450 have made contact. Again, it's only 2 cars again, so sticking to the rules. We want to try and stick we can. Still only another 2 cars involved in the accident. So,
and there we go.
But someone awesome's fallen right down the field.
And someone awesome down the field, but forget about that because Mrs. B has cheered. 1 cheer. Look at that. She's joining the party. How good is that? And she knows that her husband is in the commentary box. Very sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, doing his thing here tonight. And hello to you, Mrs. B. How do we get a gig driving the safety car? Yickety wants to know, how do you get that gig? That's a pretty awesome gig. And just forward your application through to KRL at hrrecruitment.com.au and we'll get back to you within 48 hours. I think it's 48 hours for everything when we get back to people, Wilco.
Yeah, 2 business days. 2 business days.
Who's a weirdo, says Mrs. B. And she's, well, that's why, you knew what you were getting into when you married me. And no excuses, and it's too late now too. 45 minutes into this race, 2 laps gone. Chuck Norris, where are you seeing the action so far in this opening lap? Because there's been action everywhere.
Yeah, there's definitely been action everywhere. I see yellow flags. I think those drivers are in pit lane, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, the action kind of kicked off, at the top of Eau Rouge to Radion and, going down Camel Straight. It looked like a bit of antics kicking off there. And then I don't know what the chicane is at the end of the straight there. But, shortly after that, someone awesome was mowing the lawns and he rejoined. So yeah, it seems to be filing out now. Drivers starting to settle in for the long haul. There's a long time on the clock, 44.5 minutes, long pit lane, and yeah, hopefully none of these drivers incur any infringements or get any damage, God forbid.
God forbid, that's for sure. Sideorg there in the Orange Electric Motors livery, looking very nice indeed. And a bit of a camouflage sort of look. Shawnee Fuller in his usual highlighter Brawn GP sort of yellow colour there. He's in P4 at the moment. Sexy Rexy, haven't called his name much, but he's keeping him honest here, isn't he, the Englishman? And Sexy Rexy in the Rainbow Paddle Pop doing very nicely. Mark as well, just ahead of Burra. And then there's a little gap, and then we've got Sparky Craig. Yeah! He's in 9th, and then it's F1 Sniper and Mac and Cheese. Very, very close here, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, these guys are very close. And
I got
the one
fastest lap
interesting
too.
thing is the McLaren's been slugged with
look
about
at you
30
go.
kegs of beer, and it doesn't seem to be slowing them down one bit. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see, Trev.
Certainly is, and Mrs. B getting amongst the coins there, redeeming the salty Jason Wilkinson sound effect. Oh, look at you go. And Mac and Cheese, Easy Mac as he's known to his
my
friends.
endurance teammate.
And Mac, we won't talk about what happened in Silverstone.
Yeah, let's hope we can get through the pit lane without getting stop-go penalty there tonight.
As Mac and Cheese inside the top 10, not only is he past Sniper, and he's well and truly going on about his business now further up the road. And Mrs. B got her coins, that's for sure. That's what you get watching the channel. Every cent of yours goes back into making this stream even better, as Ricardo, all the way from the Netherlands, has redeemed the K-Mag. Suck my balls, honey. And someone awesome says, what happened to the safety car? The people are calling for the safety car. Wilco said, get stuffed. There's no safety car.
Yeah, no safety car yet. We only had it's one incident with 3 or more cars, not multiple incident with 3 cars. It's one incident with 3 or more cars. So otherwise we'll be having the safety car every incident there is, because there seems to be, with a big field, you have one crash and then 10 seconds later you have another crash, because there's so many cars trying to file into position. So one incident where you have 3 or more cars involved is a safety car, which we haven't had yet.
And the Norm, so if I take out Norm and Simon, is it a safety car? Matt Simmons getting a little cheeky there through the corner with no name. Aaron Thomas right up behind Jimbo Jones here, and he's going to be very, very close to him coming through the next couple of corners. Voodoo reckons, does the track layout look like a gun? Is it an AK-47 or the other M16 or something?
Yeah, no.
An
What
Uzi.
was that gun?
Uzi.
Yeah, Uzi, that's it, yeah.
The one that goes
A little Uzi.
And absolute classic on Terminator 1, you know, when he goes into the to the ammo store. Uzi 9mm, phased plasma rifle in the 40-watt range. A gun that doesn't even exist. And then he's looking at him, and then he shoots him. But not sure, says Voodoo.
You just wrecked it for me, Trev.
Looks like a poo-poo, says Kaima B, Mrs. B. Loving it there. Perfect, absolutely worth it. And, we've got some action. And
Jimbo one wide.
Mrs. B off to bed. Good night to you, Mrs. B. And take care, I'll be in there later. We'll leave that there, but Aaron Thomas just ahead of Jimbo, and Saint Sim getting involved in this little battle. Chuck Norris, all the way from the Adelaide Hills, give us your thoughts on this 3-way battle we're seeing here for 14th, 15th and 16th.
Yeah, this is heating up, so Jimbo obviously leading our
marking,
drivers.
Who is it? Oh, no, it's a lapped car, that's right. I was going to say there was a car going side by side up to Eau Rouge, but it was a lapped car, so continue, Cam, sorry.
So as I continue, Wilco can kindly go into the bin, and we don't want a safety car. We don't want Wilco anymore. But yeah, no, as I was saying, like Jimbo leading the AM drivers around the circuit with Saint Sim and Rain of Fire towing behind. It's an interesting battle here, though. Like an Audi, a Lambo, and a Porker all within the same track, and I believe not far behind we've got Mr. Exorcist in the BMW. So. A bit of machinery works going on here, looking to see what each of these manufacturers can do in terms of top speed, how they flow through the corners, all that kind of good stuff.
Yep, a Lambo, an Audi and a Porker all walk into a bar, and what's the worst thing that could happen there? Saint Sim, having a look but don't touch, and Jimbo Jones, as that car is beat up big time. Look at that. And is that somebody off? F1 Sniper having a moment, heading into the corner with no name, and now they are all together. We'll get back to the sharp end of the field shortly, but these battles are continuing here. F1 Sniper, does he have some damage or something, Wilco? Because he's off the track here at the moment.
Aaron Thomas sort of dive bombed him up the Camel Straight and made significant contact. It was door to door, so I don't think there would have been suspension damage, but obviously F1's damage. Yeah, I can see his bonnet's flapping around, so he's just getting out the way, hopefully, and he's going to probably hit this lap and then, yeah, get the damage fixed and hope for a... Oh, yeah.
Vote for a
And
what?
Crago
You
down
cut
the
out.
inside. Crago down the inside of the bus stop, makes some slight contact with Sparky, but still, has he got that job done? Runs wide onto the start-finish straight, which is not actually the start-finish straight. I don't believe it. Actually, it is. I beg your pardon. Or is it further around?
It is.
It is, actually.
No, it is,
Yep.
yeah.
So down into turn one, Crago, very brave there on the brakes, very Ricardo. Signed, sealed, stamped and delivered there on that occasion. Now he's off into the distance there. V8 man, Dane Williams. What is he doing? Probably looking at the draw distance and the rendering and the high dynamic range on his 4K TV. Thinking, how good is this? He's in P12 at the moment. That is very high up for Dane Williams, isn't it, Wilco?
Yeah, it is. He's been, back into the swing. Of course, he was... in that first race we ever did, he was one of the guys that was actually racing. Dane's been a good mate for many years. Back on the grid, of course. Now we just need the big dog Jono and Kart Dude and stuff to jump back onto, and then we've got the old crew back together.
Certainly do. One of the originals, the OGs, of course, back from race one many years ago. I think you, me, and him were there on the Thursday of the famous or infamous COVID Australian Grand Prix, Wilco, the Grand Prix that never happened back down there on the Thursday of that weekend. And
was Nemo as well?
And yes, I think
might have been. Yeah.
Nemo was there too, I think, and we sort of bumped fists and said, "I'll catch you later. We'll catch you tomorrow." And I don't think we saw
Tomorrow
daylight.
Never come.
Tomorrow never came, and it was dreadful. That's for sure. Ricardo says, "Keep an eye on the Honda. Could do some beautiful things today."
Vibes, he did his pit stop on lap 1, so he's currently ahead of Sofa King, which he was up in around P10 or 12 or something. So Vibes, he's done an early stop, so he was hoping for a safety car. So if there's no safety car, he might be on pretty worn tyres at the end, but luckily it's probably only going to be, a 20 lap race, so tyres, they take a bit of a beating around here, but it's not too bad really, considering how long the lap is.
And you can see there a big turnout tonight, of course, like we mentioned at the top of the show. A couple couldn't make it. Vintage, of course, Dirty Vizard, Spawn, and a couple of others there, but look at that, 4 minutes damage. For someone awesome, he says, "I'm out after 4 minutes damage." Sorry, let me read that correctly.
Spewing.
Terrible luck for
That's
him.
championship leader.
And that is our championship leader. So just reminiscent of when Schumacher hit his brother at the Nürburgring in '97, and he was out of that race, and he was leading the championship back then, if anybody was alive to see it, but I certainly was, setting the recorder VHS back in those days. 35 minutes remaining in this race, and this man, Matchin 193, we saw him get onto the grass on the opening lap. He was at the sharp end of the field. He dropped down to 27th on the opening lap, and you can see there now 23rd position. It has not worked out for this man, Chuck Norris, tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not worked out for him after his really good qualifying, setting himself up the front end of the order. It just hasn't quite gone well on the opening lap, so it's good to see he's still circulating and trying to make a comeback drive and make the most of it.
And Dane having a moment there, I think, Wilco, down there in 12th. He's now P13. So unfortunate for him, Dane has had a moment there. Like we mentioned before, one of the originals on this channel and in the KRL Kid Buyers Racing League. Always great to see him there. But there we have it, Rain of Fire, another beloved regular of ours, in 14th. Not driving too badly. A little bit of damage on the front of that car, but nothing he can't deal with. And Exorcist now in the pits from P18. Someone awesome in there as well. And are these boys going to be looking to repair this damage, Wilco, or will that cost them far too much time in the remainder of this race?
Yeah, it's going to cost him a lot of time. Yeah, and I've just seen someone awesome just come back and hope to try and get some points, which he has to finish 20, which is going to be a tough ask because normally we have around that 20 to 25 mark. Have we still got 29 cars? Oh, we have 27 cars circled around. I think someone's backed out. But I want to see, where is our man, Mayo? Am I blind? Is Mayo gone?
No, you are not blind. You have, in fact... Sexy Rexy! Yibbity yibbita, Sexy Rexy came up the top of Eau Rouge backwards. Wow, that was real hard in the mouth stuff. He'll need a new set of underpants there, because that was incredible. Certainly on our screens here, Chuck Norris, he was coming up the top of the hill through Eau Rouge backwards. And I haven't seen that for many, many years, but luckily there's some runoff there, and he's managed to get it back in the right direction once again. That is an incredible save. What a save, says Ricardo. And Matty Simmons saying, solid save from Sexy Rexy. 10 out of 10 for the execution. He did a perfect sort of pirouette, and he ended up facing back in the right direction, but scary stuff for our man Sexy Rexy here, Chuck Norris, but he's back on his way now.
We've got 3 cars. We've got 3 cars. Saint Sim, V8 Man, and Jimbo. So that is going to be a safety car. They've all come together.
And they've come together.
I'll be back. Safety car time.
And that wing shouldn't...
Safety
car is deployed, the safety car, and it's not what you think it is. No, that's the wrong one there, but just giving me a chance. Safety car. You can see he's on the microphone there telling the drivers that we have a safety car. Look at this. And this gives me an excuse to move and do all this sort of stuff, this graphics and stuff like that. Wave. Is it a Michael Massey safety car, Wilco? I think Wilco's left us for a short time.
Wilco,
but
he's left.
It's on. We've got the safety car. And boy, that can only mean one thing, Chuck Norris, and that is that Wilco is jumping in his safety car like Bert Mylander and getting that safety car out on the track here. Here it comes.
Yeah, safety car making its way out of the pit lane. So we might, since we've got a little bit of time here, Trev, do we want to go onto the replay and have a look at what happened with that incident with the 133 of Saint Sim? There was, Wilco said there was 3 cars involved in it, so this might be a perfect opportunity while we can to have a quick look at it.
And I think it might have been Saint Sim. Andrelli says it's on, wave through the lap cars. And Glasso saying my race is cooked. And that is terrible news for these invisible cars. They're bloody... what's going on here? What is...
So as you can see on the track, we've got we've got a bug running at the speed of light here. You can't quite see him, but boy, is he putting in the lap of his life.
Well, if you had to pick one superpower, Prince, what would it be? Invisibility or something like that? But look at that. There's a car on the track, but it's invisible. Some sort of ghost car or something. Call in Ed and Lorraine Warren to investigate this. And the cars are pretty fast. Look at that. And boy, this is how well are we travelling here? And
if we swap cars, is it still the same issue, or is it like just
too sure there? I think we might have a look there. We might just get out of that. As Ricardo says, the cars are so fast you can't even see them. As we are going to the front of the field now. In fact, we're going to go to the safety car. Glasso might be done for the night, but this should reset everything, Prince, and give the drivers who have been involved in some incidents early on in this race a chance to get back into this race here and join the safety car queue, and they've got a second chance here.
Yeah, so the drivers involved, I believe when I had a quick look through the rules, you're allowed to pit under the safety cars. So I'd be surprised if people don't decide to come in, get their normal stop out of the way, fix the car if they need to, and kind of rejoin back onto the order, because, it's an interesting one. It's such a long lap around here that you can almost get everything done. So hopefully the 3 drivers involved can get back to pit lane, get their cars all sorted. But yeah, Trev, this is going to bring every man and their dog back into the mix of things. Like, the people that pitted early are probably going to end up at the front end of the grid, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So we're not sure when this safety car is coming back in. might be another lap, I'd say.
Another lap for the safety car. Matty Simmons, 2015 GT Academy champion, has said, everyone echoing your statement there, Nigerian Prince. Everybody should pit now that, of course, haven't pitted already. We've got 28 minutes left in this race, and the safety car has been deployed if you're just joining us. And it seems that Wilco is stopping here in the safety car. Good to see Wilco back out on track in some capacity, albeit not racing, of course. And I think, is he letting the lapped guys through there, I believe, Chuck, before he gets on with the business? And how about these graphics too, just cutting edge stuff. Oh, we'll save that one for later. But if Wilco could give us a message when that safety car is coming in, that would give us a little bit of a heads up here in the commentary box. I'm not sure how that message is going to get to us, but what is he doing here? I think he's just trying to get the leader, I think, here, Chuck, on this lap.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to pick the leader up, so I'm not quite sure who the leader is. But I do see Glasser's got a stop go 30 on his name as well. That's going to definitely hurt. But yeah, the leader might provisionally be Norm, Burrow and Sideways Polka in the pit lane. So yeah, as we can see now, Norm and Cloquet are onto the back of the safety car queue. So we should hopefully see everybody kind of catch up over the course of this lap. Worst case scenario, we might have to go one more just to make sure that we've got at least 50% or so of the grid onto the back of the safety car, and then we can go green. So we'll just have to wait for Wilco to peel off at the start of Sector 2, I believe I read. He'll kind of put his foot down and not do safety car things anymore, and then we should have an indication of when we can go green again.
So the race has been neutralised. Glasso just confirming the night's definitely done. His car is retired. And you heard from Chuck Norris there just before. I think the end of the second sector. Wilco will stop his duties as a safety car. He'll stop being safe, won't he, Chuck? And he'll just continue on at breakneck speed like those invisible cars we saw on the replays a moment ago, and get back into the pits and get this race going. I think what was causing the confusion, Chuck, is that like yourself and Matty Simmons were discussing earlier, everybody pitted. So it made it difficult for our man to find out who the actual the net leader was out of all of that.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing, wasn't it? I kind of thought we had the leader onto the back of the queue, but unfortunately the two drivers that were technically leading decided to dive in a pit lane and get their stops done a little bit later than anticipated, and then we had to find the next leader, which happens to be Norm. So thankfully we've got a majority of the queue onto the back of the grid. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we almost go green at the end of this lap. So start of Sector 2, if we see the cars bunching back up and Wilco peeling away, then we will be going green.
So we shall see. Maybe if he flashes his lights, if he can hear us out there, or do something to indicate that he is coming in. We'll wait and see. I think we've got a few stragglers there at the back, a few back markers coming through. I think, Chuck, we've got about half a dozen or so drivers out of the position. Out of position, I mean as in not catching up, that haven't caught up to the back of this pack, I should say. But recapping lap 9 of the race, Norm is our leader here, 6/10 ahead of Cloquet, and Mark as well up there in third, Sidorg in fourth. And then Shawnee Fuller, Sparky God.
Safety cars coming in.
And the safety car's coming in. Safety car is, I've put all this work in. There we go. Safety car's coming in this lap. And he's going to stop being so safe. And in fact, he's going to peel off. And we are going to be back racing again. There he goes into that extremely narrow pit lane there. Safety car is in, and we are going to be back racing again. Norm is going to lead them away very, very shortly. And to get back into racing for the next 24 minutes, Rain of Fire says his night's done. People break for Norrisen behind the safety car. Unfortunate for Norm. It's not unfortunate for Norm. He's leading the race, but Rain of Fire, we do feel for you, mate. Terrible luck there tonight. And his night is done. But Chuck, we're almost about ready to get this one back underway for the next 23 minutes.
Yeah, it looks like
Green
we've
flag.
gone green with Norm sending it out of the last chicane here, or the driver's single file. Good to see that a majority of them managed to make it through cleanly. There's a couple of stragglers at the back, but that's to be expected when we've got around 50% of the grid onto the back of the safety car. But we're going green single file on the run up to Eau Rouge, Trev.
Here we go, and Jason Wilkinson is back in the pits. He's out of the safety car. He's made the quick dash up to the commentary box. He's back with us, but look at this. Down Camel Straight after the safety car restarted. Cloquet getting into the slipstream. And please, cameraman, can we see this battle? And you can see Cloquet down the inside. Norm has the lead, but for how long? Oh, I thought that was a 2 into 1, not quite working out there, but they get away with it. They live to fight another day. Cloquet and Norm. What a battle we are seeing here at the restart of this race. And I think that was his best opportunity down Camel Straight. But he's going to be tucked in right behind him here through the corner with no name. It's where can he get past here? That's going to be the question. Jason Wilkinson, our man, back in the commentary box, getting a little bit of a moment there, Cloquet. But this is on at the front. What a battle we are seeing.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I was having a drink. Hot work being the safety car. But yeah, Mark's actually been the big winner. I'm not sure if you guys have been speaking about that, but Mark's up to P3. And of course, we had Vibes. You remember our guy who pitted on lap 1? He's now teleported all the way up to P9. So he's got some good luck there. And of course, who's been the big loser? We said Burrow. Something happened to Burrow. I'm not sure what that was. He's sending messages in the chat. But
yeah, somebody braked apparently for no reason behind the safety car. We got word of a little while ago.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's everyone's. I said no hard braking on the safety cars. So whoever that is will find who it was and execute them. I mean, give them the penalty. But yeah, if we go back to the front, we've got Cloquet up in to have a battle, and he hasn't got the move done yet.
Certainly doesn't, but boy, the way he's going here after the safety car restart into lap 11 of this race. Cloquet in second. Norm holding on for dear life. Burrow ended up hitting me up the arse, and because someone braked hard in front of him, so it was a concertina effect, and one went into the other, and then and it caused all sorts of havoc there. Rain of fire, terrible luck for him this evening. But, wow, Norm still holds P1. Cloquet not quite as close on this lap or this time around down Camel Straight here. But here's another opportunity. He's going to tuck in. And are we going to see a Mika Hakkinen style move? In fact, that was 3 cars back in the day, but we're not going to see that. Cloquet. It is McLaren versus McLaren. Norm versus Cloquet. Who's your money on in this battle, ladies and gentlemen? Get your comments in. If you don't mind, please. 23 people watching. Great number, that's for sure. And Beaky joining us as well. Good evening, gents. And Beaky, you join us at a critical time with 20 minutes and some change left in this race, because Norm and Cloquet are battling profusely through this part of the lap here. And you can see there we had a safety car, Beaky. If you're just joining us, if you're wondering why the field is fairly bunched up, it's Sideorg still there in 3rd place. Shawnee Fuller in 4th. Leading his class, I beg your pardon. Then it's Mark, the big winner. Oh, did you talk about Mark? Yes, of course we did. We mentioned him, didn't we, Chuck? But he's up to 5th and 2nd in class. And then it's Sparky, Sexy Rexy, and Sofa King Bed, and Sideways Nick, Crago. And then it's Vimesy in the Soul Honda. Always love seeing the Honda out there. And a little bit, they have a habit of pulling out of different forms of motorsport, don't they, Chuck? And Crago with a drive-through penalty. Stop everything. Drive-through penalty for Crago. What could that possibly be for?
I think sadly it's track limits. So, the safety car kind of brought everyone back into contention. But unfortunately for Craigio, he's got to go back through pit lane, serve this drive-through, and that's at least a minute 20 he's going to lose just on pit lane travel there, Trev. And
that's pretty shithouse news, you've got to be honest, because we've just had a safety car. So really, Prince, he's going to lose the most possible amount of time in humanly possible amount of time, if I can talk English for a second, because we've just had the safety car restart. The field is bunched up, so that is going to cost him terribly here. And is he continuing?
Cloquet and Norm side by side.
Oh, Cloquet and Norm Side by side, they race together to uphold. Look at this! Up through Eau Rouge, Radion or whatever it's called, and then down the Kemmel Straight. He's a little bit closer here, Wilco, I reckon.
Oh, here we go. He's going to have a look. He's going to... No, he's been sensible. He doesn't want to send it because it's not really a braking zone in GT3 cars that you can pass safely. As Rexy's had a moment and stopped on top of the hill. I'll make sure no one T-bows.
Did I send it or did I didn't send it?
Yeah, you
send it!
Yeah, that battle.
Oh, stuff, guys. Oh, thank you.
Hot and Clocade's through.
Well, it's more than hot. It's reached a critical point, and now Clocade is through, and Rexy there in the 46 Ferrari dropping down the field. His paddle pop is melting down there. He's well down the field. We'll get to that in a moment because, well, Clocade's got the move done, Jason Wilkinson, but he's not exactly leaping off into the distance, is he? Norm sticking with him still.
Yeah, Norm had a tough week last week. He just couldn't gel with Imola, but he does say that Spa is one of his favourite tracks, and we saw Clocade had a really good battle with Matt, so he's used to having someone all over him, pressuring him. So we're going to see how Clocade holds it here, but of course, this is a big braking zone up here. He's got the slipstream Norm. Can he not get too much dirty air through Blanchimont here? And if he can't, he might have a little send going up into the bus stop chicane.
Let's have a look. Norm is eyeing off.
Some dirty air.
Bit of dirty air there, getting a little bit out of shape through that corner, heading into the bus stop. Huge braking zone here. Down to first gear, second gear. Then you can see through the chicane onto the start-finish straight once again. What was the gap? 0.2 of a second. Now it's 0.4, but it's still nothing between these two. It's a bit of A4 paper between the two of them here at the moment. Clocade is through. He's leading the race for the time being. We've got 16 and a half minutes left and 26 people watching. Massive numbers out on the track tonight and even bigger numbers watching here. Chuck Norris, KRL alive and well for this season. Round 5 of Season 5 here tonight. It's all going off at the moment. The fans are loving it and we're loving it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Our pixelated spectators and the fans alike are enjoying and loving every single minute of this. Just want to remind you, if you are in the chat and you haven't hit that follow button yet, we are one follower away from hitting our 270 follower goal. If you want to be that 270th follower, be sure to hit that follow button. We would greatly appreciate it.
Sing the song. Oh, yes! We did it! Natty Dread is now following. Had a bit of a moment there, but now I've composed myself because we've hit it. 270 followers. It really is fantastic. And so is this battle here up at the front. We've hit it, Prince. We've hit that as soon as you said it. Just like that. You had the direct line to Natty Dad. And we've just hit that follower goal. And boy, this battle at the front, I can barely take my eyes off it, Jason. I know there's other battles happening, but this one is really where it's at here with 15 to go in this race.
Yeah, they're both sliding around a bit and actually letting Simon catch back up. Now, we know off the first sort of, 3, 4, 5 laps of the race, Simon sort of dropped down to about, 3, 4 seconds, and it was sort of struggling to keep up with the McLarens here, but of course, all it takes is a safety car. Simon is a very good driver, as we've said many times. Can he, what's the word I'm looking for? Can he capitalise on this this battle these two are having? If they start going side by side a bit, watch out for Simon.
There we have it, stuttering there a bit, says Glasso, and I can't get enough of this battle. And we'll leave that there, but 14 and a half minutes to go in this race. I'm sweating up here, whatever you do. And Natty says, no worries on my name. I've been called all kinds of things. Just don't call me late for dinner, he says. But please, if you could break that name down, given that you're the latest member of this family, that would be very much appreciated. And there's always a spot at the table for you. And that is interesting to say the least. We're handing out dinner invitations to people we've just met, but down the Kemmel Straight, this battle for the lead continues. Norm, can he return the favour, Chuck Norris?
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one to see if Norm can serve it back. There's a couple of good opportunities. This is getting a bit
Nearly
tense here.
spun.
So, yeah, that was a bit of a moment there. So it's going to drop back a little bit of time there, but I do have faith. Norm can catch back up. He's not out of the draft yet, so still ample time on that clock. 13 and a half minutes remaining.
There we have it. Great words there for the multiple champion, the Nigerian Prince, who is a man of faith. He has faith. We hope you have faith at home, because you can see here 13 minutes, lucky for some, and that's plenty of time if your name is Norm, and too much time if your name is Clocaid, to stay in front. Sideorg, that gap steady back to Sideorg, 2.3, and thank you for that, Glasso there, who says the G is silent. It is Natty Dread. We spell weird in the US. Nat. Should have just called myself Mozzie Dread. And very nicely done indeed. The Americans, Mom, they like spelling things a little bit differently over there, don't they, Prince? But guess what? We've gone global. United States tuning in here. We've made it big in America.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say Nigerian Prince or? Oh, so you just said back in a sec. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
So he's.
I'm Cam. I'm Voodoo. I have 300 followers on Twitch, and yeah, Jason's a good driver. And yeah, so I'm just looking at the battles further down the field. So we've got a couple of cars are sort of that awkward lap down. I'm not sure how that happened. We got Exorcist in P16, and then P17 Jimbo is behind him. Then you got Saint Sim and Mac, who are overtaking guys like Vibesy and stuff. So there's a few guys. Oh, who's that? Mac having a dive bomb on Saint Sim there. So these guys are battling for their own position, but they've also got good vibes and stuff just behind them. So it's a bit awkward for those boys.
And I'm sure if there's any issues with the safety car or how things are being run in this championship, direct all of your correspondence to Jason at krl.com.au, and we'll get back to you in a couple of business days. I don't get any of that negative feedback. Oh, hello, we've got a yellow flag, or is that someone in the pits? Is that Glass?
Sofa King.
No, I beg your pardon.
Sofa
King, who is, whereabouts is he? P9?
He's in the pits, so something's happened. He either quickly returned to garage because he had a lot of damage, or something's really gone wrong because he was in P8 when it happened, or P7. So I'm sure he'll jump on the stream and let us know. But yeah, I'm guessing he sort of either got taken out, had a spin, and then had so much damage he returned to garage in a bit of frustration.
Oh.
So that's sort of him down.
And Saint Sim has spun. I believe it was a very innocuous looking incident. Has he gone? Has he? No, he's still on the grass and sliding around there. And Voodoo kindly just agreeing with everything Wilco said, except him being a good driver. Safety car boards and flags. I
technically led 2 laps tonight in a GT4, so I'll take that. I'll put that in the resume.
Look at you go.
Just trying to find that sound effect there. But anyway, that's all right. There we go. It would spice things up, says Glasso, but I'm not sure whether it meets the criteria for a safety car. Like I said, direct all of your negative comments to Jason Wilkinson. And, well, we don't get any of that sort of stuff, Prince, because we're gorgeous and everybody loves us and the work we do here for KRL.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got any complaints about the commentary
Nick
team,
just
you just send them
tagged
straight to Wilco.
Sideways Polka.
And Nick is tagging people not on Facebook, but on the track, unfortunately, because who else did he take with him? Was that Vibesy? No,
Sideways Polka.
Sideways Polka getting involved in that one. So I tell you what, we've put the commentator's curse on him here, Chuck. And we mentioned no safety. Oh, hello, that's a little bit too close for comfort. Sideways. He's not going to die wondering, is he, Chuck? He's had a go there, and I think he's back through. Or did Nick readdress that? I think
Nick readdressed, yeah.
Yep. So that's what's happened there. I beg your pardon. But 9 minutes. What a race we've seen. We haven't seen any rain. and I don't think we're going to get any judging by the weather conditions here, but well, Nick has readdressed that mistake at the bus stop on the previous lap, and now it looks like he's made a move back on sideways and back into position there. We'll keep an eye on that. We've got Jackery, what's his name, down there as well. But I've got to say, Sniper, where are the other battles here, Wilco? We've got Sniper behind Vibesy, not too far behind there, sideways, and
Max
Nick.
around.
And is that mac and cheese? Ooh, could that be
One
a safety
more
car?
by him. No. It's only one safety car per race, and it's within the last 15 minutes of the race anyway. But yeah, Mac needs to pull his finger out. That's 2 mistakes I've seen in the last few weeks, and he's at risk of losing his Kings Racing endurance team. No, I'm kidding. No, Mac's still good. He hasn't really been doing much ACC apart from the enduro rounds like me, so he'd be a little bit rusty.
Yes, my car's a bit rusty. The famous Indian opener back in the 80s. But here comes Mac once again, and he's made a couple of mistakes
Stuff
there.
India, we beat him.
Yes. 1, 2. What's better than 5 World Cups, Wilco?
6.
I got fastest lap too.
6.
And yes, I'll take some of that, please. Oh,
Look at you go.
and get Mac to book some coaching sessions. Call in the next 15 minutes, and
Who
you'll
said
get. Lasso said, get Mac to book some sessions. Does he get any discounts or mates rates or that sort of thing? But you can just picture him there, can't you, Wilco, sitting in his safety car, Chuck, a bit like Dr. Helmut Marko. If you crash again, we will kick you out. That's meant to be Helmut Marko, but no. But Mac,
That sounds like Nicky Lauda.
well, they're from the same part of the world. And Mac, and there we have it. So Mac, rest in peace, the great Nicky Lauda, champion with Ferrari in 75, 77 after a comeback year, of course, and then 84 by half a point over Prost there back in 1984. But I've got a strange encyclopedic memory for the history of Formula One. But anyway, through turn one comes Mac Miller. Yep.
I've got one for you.
Go ahead, my friend.
Who won in 1669?
Henry VIII, I think he was doing all sorts of things back then. But he must have been onto his 7th wife. And yes, he sort of got rid of, geez, imagine what a time to be alive. Oh, I don't feel like cooking dinner tonight. Chop! And there we go. And VB Longneck.
Oh, VB Longneck.
VB Longneck at 20 to 8 in the fucking morning. Get that up, ya. And I wonder where VB Longneck is from. I've got a pretty fair idea, and I'm sure he's from the land down under. And he's going to smile and give us a Vegemite sandwich here, Chuck, because we've got 5.5 minutes remaining in this race. And we have hit the roof in terms of followers. And I'm getting very close to 300. Are you feeling nervous?
Well, I'm shaking in my boots.
Yes.
All right, Woody, calm down.
I got a
Reach
funny
for the sky.
joke about Woody and a Catholic priest, but we'll leave that one there. As let's just say one goes limp when the kid walks into the room. But Natty says second follow and second time he's mentioned food. Someone feed this man, please. We've made it big in the States. We need a big flashy, over-the-top, super expensive race in the United States. Oh, Cloakade! Cloakade has smashed into the wall. And wow, there's some... That is just...
That's damage too.
That is a massive... What on earth happened there? He just got it all wrong. He just got it all wrong in every possible way. And jump onto the replay, please, Wilco, to see what happened there, because our race leader has a smashed up bonnet for good measure. He got it all wrong at Eau Rouge. And now he's... I think that might be... It's not just out of the top 3. I think this is going to be dreadful news for Cloakade, because with 4 minutes to go...
Only 2 laps to go.
I think he might be done.
3. Well, it's only 3 laps to go, and there's a big gap to Sparky, who's car number 11, and then the next car is 711. So he's got a bit of damage. but he should still be able to limp home for a top 6 or 7 here.
Well,
Hopefully.
we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how much.
97, someone awesome has just got into the points, and he's fenced it as well.
Someone awesome.
So the big names having some issues tonight.
Man, that is just a race.
Yeah.
Just a lack of downforce or concentration or
Now,
something.
look at Simon. Simon and Norman now battling for the lead. Simon's been closing in, and now this is a battle for the lead with 2 laps to go.
And please,
this is on.
Please, this is on. A couple of laps left in this race. And Chuck Norris, you can see there that Simon... Oh, I thought I was your favourite driver, Trev. What will he be saying to himself in that Kiwi helmet inside that number 2 Audi? Because he is on. He might be in P2 in car number 2. But Norm now, once again, he's inherited the lead, but he's got Simon right up in his business.
Yeah, so Simon's not too far off of this, actually. You know, and if I go back and remember his GT7 results, or the GT World Tour results that got posted on that website, his consistency is up the shizer. So his consistency here at KRL, I need to form him a new website where his consistency is just maxed out.
And we've got another follower coming in. How many's that? 272. It's HC Smitty 11 who's following the channel. God bless each and every one of you, because you've just joined. Your life will never ever be the same again listening to us up here, because we absolutely love racing, and we know you do too. Over 2 minutes remaining. Now the time is ticking down. Just a couple of minutes. I think we might be into the penultimate lap of this race. And boy, it's still anyone's guess who's going to win this race. Norm will be sweating like a pig.
I've just seen
not like a pig, but
crash.
And yep,
it was absolutely humongous. So he actually lost he actually took too much curb going up Eau Rouge, and the cars just started sliding. Of course, when you go on 220k an hour, and the car's going uphill, it's sort of never going to get back to you. And he hit the wall. I'll tell you the exact speed he hit the wall at. So as the car goes sideways with that 230 k's, he hits the wall at 180. So he's going to have a fair bit of damage, the poor old Cloquet.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Well, and speaking of Cloquet, as he's limping home to the line, but I'm not sure how much more limping he can do, if you catch my drift, because Sparky now is past him. Nick further down the road, 10th. I think he might be right back to 7th, I think. And Nick is off. Nick off. And, don't do that. Oh, he's hit Tomo too.
Holy.
He'll be off the Christmas card list because he's just smacked Tomo. I think he sort of slowly drifted wide, didn't he, Aaron Thomas? But he still couldn't avoid the inevitable contact. My goodness, what is happening out there? They're dropping like Norwegian flies in the cold weather, because I've got to say, not sure where I pulled that one from, Prince, but is it a concentration thing or something? It's only 26.
Yes.
Because
I
where
don't know about you, Trev, but Norwegian flies are different to our flies. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen a Norwegian fly? They're dressed just like Vikings. They're ready to come pillage your house. Like they're built different over there.
Like Genghis Khan, who wasn't Norwegian, but I'm sure he would have, like King Henry VIII back in 16-something, he would have done some damage. Hold your brakes, porkers, please, says Ricardo from the Netherlands. But there we have it. 3, 2, 1, 0. And in the last few minutes and the last couple of laps of this race, gentlemen, it has become a battle for survival. And Norm still doing very nicely indeed. He must have felt like Stephen Bradbury there when he saw Cloquet going off and he inherited the lead. But side org, it's still not done yet, Chuck. We've got half a lap or so to go.
Yeah, not too far to go, but if anything from these last few laps that we've seen, incidents just randomly happening out of the blue. I don't want to curse it, Trev, but we might see a lead change, or even someone like Megan Markle come from P4 to win it, because everyone decides they don't want to win the race here.
Yes, it's like that Grand Prix that nobody wanted to win back at Imola, or was it Monaco there? I think it was Imola back in the 80s, where car after car just kept running out of fuel, and nobody wanted to win the race. And Norm lap 20. This will be the final lap of the race. Someone awesome got back to 21st, and he'll be happy with that. He says after 2 pit stops, 2 laps down, and 27th. He's going to come back well down the field there, but still in P21. We haven't got too much longer to go, ladies and gentlemen. And round 5 of this championship. Don't forget, tomorrow night, of course, Nissan GTR Series, the Matt Simmons Cup, as it's affectionately known. That'll be on from 8 p.m. sharp. So get your cups of tea ready and join us for that. But through the bus stop chicane, for the final time, right, a left. He's made no mistakes here in the final few laps. He might consider himself fairly lucky, but luck doesn't come into it because Norm wins the race, then takes victory. Simon will take second in the end. Here's a man we haven't spoken about an awful lot, but he's going to come home and finish second here. I mean third. I'm feeling pretty good about that, eh? And that's a New Zealander who was born in England and spent a bit of time in Australia too, but he comes through in third. Megan Markle in 4th, Mark Ledwich, Sparky, and he's 5th, and I think Cloquet is going to... No, he's lost another position to Sideways Polka, and now he's going to be down to 7th at the end of this, and that is a costly mistake for Cloquet, and he won't even be talking to us on the podium to tell us what happened. That's how devastating... Oh, Nick and Thomas... Well, he's no doubting Thomas because he comes across the line. Did he get him in the end there on the line?
No, Nick got him.
So Sniper there in 10th. And Vibesy in the Honda. He's Ricardo's driver of the day. Coming from the back to snatch P11. And Machin there started off at the sharp end of the field in the early going of this one. Finished P12. I reckon we could make a documentary series about this race, Chuck Norris, because we've seen so much action. We could release a limited series, maybe 6 episodes, and have Keanu Reeves come and talk with us because we've seen so much action here tonight.
Yeah, so while we're at it, coming to a theater near you, we've got a Netflix special of KRL.
Wow, this story barely seems believable. That's meant to be Keanu Reeves. But wow, so you're telling me that the race finished 5 minutes ago and V8 man's still driving around? Wow.
He hit it on the last lap. He must have been low fuel.
And
he was in P12. And yeah, I saw him driving down pit lane. So he must have miscalculated the fuel, but at least he got the draw distance and that worked.
I certainly do. Anti-analising. We got VC on, and he's getting airtime for the sponsors as Jackery says a bit of a rough introduction. Yes, it hurts the first time, but good to be involved and get to the finish. And Sparky God says a really hard race. Boy, this is diving quickly down into the depths of your ignorance and despair. But V8 man across the line, and he won't be too worried about V-Sync and putting everything on ultra graphics because he has finished in the end, running albeit on the smell of an oily rag. As you can see there, we might get back to the where are we looking at, please? The timetables to see the final results. It is Norm winning this race. He's class as well there. 1.3 ahead of Sideorg on track. Shawnee Fuller, Mark, Sparky God, Sideways Polka, Cloquet still gets the fastest lap, Nigerian Prince, but that'll be little consolation after he went off sideways at Eau Rouge at a couple of hundred clicks. Nick in 8th, Aaron Thomas in 9th, F1 Sniper in 10th. Thank you, Keanu. We'll get back to you in a moment. Vibes in 11th, Machin in 12th. So you're telling me that you sing his name every time you talk? Yes, we do, Keanu, and that's Craig. Oh, yeah! And the Exorcist there in 14th, V8 man, Mac and Cheese, who is questionably still in the King's Racing Driver Academy for the time being.
That's an academy now.
And it's almost time to sack him. And Saint Sim in 17th, Jimbo Jones, one of our favourites. He keeps chipping away each and every week. MMC Jackery getting involved. Sorry about the early contact, he says, but look at that He's got the chat already. He's got his VIP badge, I think. What is that? Prime Gaming. And he's got the 1 month sub badge, the little K there. Special K for KRL, of course. And I've forgotten about the rest of them there towards the back of the field. I've lost my train of thought. We lost a few of them, but still enough about me shitting on for the time being, because Prince, we've got our top three with us, I believe, sorry, our winners from each respective class here, who are going to come and have a chat with us.
Yeah, so I'm just having a look. I think we still need the Exorcist for our AM driver. But yeah, I think for the most part we've got everyone in here ready for the podium interviews, Trev.
We certainly do indeed. Yep, Rooney. And there we have it. So, Norm, we might kick things off with Norm. If you can hear us loud and clear. I think we've got him here. The Exorcist is not too far away. Norm, mate, good evening to you. Thanks for taking the time out post-race to talk with us.
That's all right. Hey, I just want to start off and direct this one at Cloquet. That was a mega battle, mate, and you had wicked pace. And don't beat yourself up too much, okay? That happens to the best of us.
Great words there. Great sportsmanship. It was a great battle there between yourself and Cloquet before he tragically decided to end his life prematurely at the top of Eau Rouge. But mate, about your race personally, talk us through it. Give us your thoughts about that race tonight. There was action everywhere, amazing battles, none less, of course, than Cloquet, like you mentioned, mate. But talk us through. You get P1 in the end.
Oh, look, that was a hard race from start to finish. The pace was probably more than I expected. To keep that going was very hard work. But yeah, in the end, very happy.
Great stuff, mate. And what was the feeling like when the seas parted and you saw Cloquet heading off the track, mate? What were your thoughts there at that point?
Well, it was definitely a holy shit moment, and I went straight on and got myself a track cut for that one. But yeah, holy shit, is there any words for that?
Great stuff, mate. Thank you, Norm. You won the race tonight, and fantastic stuff, mate. We'll catch you wherever we're racing. Kailami, I think, is the next round of the championship, round 6. We'll catch you next week. Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers, lads. Have a good night.
Great stuff. Thank you. It really was an shut moment, wasn't it, there for the Kiwi? But now, are we talking to, who are we talking to next, Wilco, please? Sidewag and Sidorg. Simon Bishop is alongside us. 1.378. That is not much between first and second, but he was quietly sitting back. He was sitting back, and then decided to launch his play at P1. Couldn't quite get it done in the end, but Simon, P2 for you tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Trev. It was I was trying to be the only person that could race with those McLarens today. They were super fast. Cloquet was obviously very unlucky. He was so far ahead that we just basically caught him when he was recovering from his accident. But I tried to race Norm, but burned the tyres up at the end. But pretty happy. Like Norm said, that was hard work. I was pushing as hard as I could. And the safety car was really helpful because it enabled me to fix the damage I had from early on. But second is solid, and it's obviously a good warm-up for tomorrow.
Fantastic, mate. Beautifully summed up. Big warm-up, of course, for tomorrow, where you absolutely dominate, of course, mate. Congratulations. Take care. We'll catch you tomorrow night for the big one, the Matt Simmons Cup.
That's the one. See you then.
Great work there. And we got any Australians in here tonight winning anything? No, we don't. I don't think. But
the man in P3 overall, of course, is all Pro-Am class. Did it nice and cleanly this week, Shawnee. Sorry, I'm just going to jump in here, Trev, by the way. Shawnee, mate, P1 in the Pro-Am class and P3 overall. Tell us about your race. You had some good battles and got lucky towards the end there.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well done to the podium. Unfortunate for Cloquet, I watched his battle from behind, and as a teammate in the Enduro, he had it wrapped up. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, no, I'm just pleased. It was last week we had a really good battle, but it ended off, and we had to hand the trophy back, which is understandable. And 2 weeks before that, we got taken out into third. So to be honest, it felt a little bit quite fitting that I did come in third. But it was a good I had a good race. I went from P8, didn't qualify particularly well. The seas parted for me, got a little bit of damage, and then really kind of followed through. One of the challenges I had at the end was the last. I started trying to chase P2, but I'd run out of lives, and so I was in a world of trouble, making sure that I didn't go over the line because that would have been 30-second or drive-through penalty. So I was taking it easy, and then to see Cloquet come through, and I was like, geez, and then I was starting to panic a little bit. So I think I did the slowest lap of the race on the last one just to make sure that I was okay.
Great work. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I started that interview. Sorry,
That's
I've got
all right.
100.
That's all right. Just save the date.
I was listening. I just didn't realise that I was meant to then reply because, as I said, I've got messages popping off in my
Great
phone.
work.
But,
We'll keep pushing
is
on.
Exo here?
Yep. Exorcist, thank you, Shawnee, mate. We'll catch you next time around.
Well done, Sean. Well done, mate.
Right.
Great stuff. The Exorcist, we're trying to tighten up the time frames on these post-race interviews, of course. Exorcist 666, have you got us there, mate?
I certainly do, lads. How are we all?
Bloody terrific, mate. Could not be better, that's for sure. But how about you, more importantly? Because you've taken your M4 GT3 BMW to a win in your class, mate. How does it feel?
That's great. I'm really stoked with the win. But in Perth at the moment, it's like 38 degrees. I reckon I've lost about 10 kilos. That was one hot, sweaty race around Spa. Well, I love Spa. Spa's great. And a really important part, I actually drove past someone awesome and got a spot of him as well. So I was quite happy with that. We have a bit of a chat, me and him on the party chat. But great race. A lot of guys I noticed in the end were getting all sorts of pit lane infractions, which is too good. But there you go, Trev. There's an Australian that come up and taken the W for the AM in the green and gold as well.
Great stuff, mate. It's about bloody time. Let me tell you. And great stuff, mate. Aussie. Oi, Aussie. And thank you for that, Exorcist. Congratulations, mate. We'll catch you. Go ahead, sorry.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, catch you tomorrow night. Another great job. I can't wait to watch the stream. I love watching you guys. It's bloody awesome streams. All legends, every one of you.
Great work, mate. Fantastic. We echo those sentiments, mate. Exorcist there, our race winner in class. Fantastic man that he is, part of the KRL family, of course. You'll be back tomorrow night, Exorcist. We'll catch you then, my friend.
Yes, I will.
Yep.
Yes, I will. I'll see you then, boys.
Good stuff. He'll be back tomorrow night, and that is almost a wrap here from round 5 of season 5 of this championship for the GT3s, of course. Wilco, thank you to yourself, not only in the commentary box tonight, but also in the safety car, which is a bit of a throwback, mate. Thank you for all your contributions this evening.
Yeah, and if everyone looks to the weather, we've got rain in Thursday. So we got lucky that it wasn't an endurance race here tonight. But yeah, safety car, we'll have a look. Like, I think it worked. There was a couple of people that had contact under safety car, which is a big no-no. So we'll get to the bottom of that. But other than that, yeah, it seemed to work fine. So that's good, I guess, because it's also something we could look at for the endurance series, just to yeah, make the endurance series a bit more realistic and sort of bunch it back up. But yeah, it was good. Congrats to Norm, Cywag, and Shiny Fuller, and XO as well. And we'll catch you all Matt Sim Binger King Cup.
Yep, certainly will. That big yellow brick, it's just etched in my memory. Who could forget those days? The Binger Matt Simmons Cup tomorrow night. Beautiful lead in, Wilco. Absolutely beautifully done. Loved your work. 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It's going to be the Nissans running around Spa here for another 50 minutes. Thank you to the man alongside us in the commentary box tonight from Littlehampton in the Adelaide Hills, of course. Chuck Norris, the man who beat the sun in a staring contest. Thank you for your contribution once again.
Yeah, I might have beaten the sun in a staring contest once, but I'm now legally blind. But no, I'm looking forward to the Liam Neeson series tomorrow night. We'll catch you guys from 8 p.m. Victorian time. Looking forward to it.
Great stuff, that's for sure. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Machin, Jackery, who was MMC Jackery, of course, joining us tonight. A few other new ones in there as well. HC, Smitty, VB, Longneck for joining us. Natty, the American, Jackery, and everybody getting involved in it. Like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern Victorian time, Eastern Seaboard time here in Australia for the next race here of this championship. And of course, will be the Nissans in the Matt Simmons Bingaling Cup. Don't forget to join us for that. Be kind to one another, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow night. It's bye for now.